Good evening and welcome to London Ascending, a vampire venue. Tonight we start our scene in Lady in Waiting, Laura's bar, where she is sitting doing her normal stuff. Well, I say normal stuff. She's looking over what seems to be not bills, but specifics and a couple lists of names from a certain company. Um, and she seems to be going over things like a couple of times, making triple sure, perhaps, that things are as they appear. And she's sitting there, and she is earlier been in contact with someone from the court who's going to make a visit to her.
The You have seen this man wearing this sheet before. He enters the bar, puts this weird jacket, pants, and shirt in the middle of the winter. He is he has blush of health, and he's exactly how you remember him. He comes and without just you hear the footsteps and you hear the Lauren sitting near you. He is
She'll
go on.
she'll put the papers and stuff to the
Hmm.
side and just greet you, get up and greet you.
He will just please you don't need to act like we're in somewhere else. He
Oh,
doesn't say like Elysium.
no, she smiles and just very good evening to you. It's been a while since I had the pleasure of having you here.
So do I. The last time I believe was the investigation.
I believe it was. Yes, yes, it was. So, oh, um, see you. Have you heard anything new from Diane on the investigation she's leading?
The Yes, I heard. I might be of service to her.
Hmm.
The senator. He kind of looks at him before he says, "Are we secure for the first?"
Hmm.
He asks. Then he says, "Like, are we secure for the first? Like, are we secure for the masquerade here?"
And she just where you are now is it's been the bar has been reworked a little. It's
Hmm.
quite clear that this is a members only sort of area.
Hmm.
There is only the two of you, and quite clearly a bodyguard of some kind that Laura has.
Hmm.
So it's only the two of you. So it seems fairly relatively safe to talk here.
Okay. And he says the senator has been missing. He entered and finds some weird bloodline. It seems that the Beyond is saving the,
Hmm.
some kind of. She plans, and she is good at planning. It seems.
Hmm. Huh. She's better at that than at holding speeches. Hmm.
Well, she is the sheriff now.
Hmm. Quite true.
The Camilla was also. Oh, see, Camilla was also going for sheriff, and you see some salt there.
Yeah, Laura doesn't comment on it.
Hmm.
She just seems to keep focused on. And she will just say, well, it was a bit unnerving, the announcement she had with well limiting people's movement in the underground. I suppose it
Uh,
is related, but
it is related. The seneschal is captured by some Nosferatu. or a weird Nosferatu bloodline.
Hmm.
And a scourge.
I've said to her on more than one occasion that I stand ready to assist her in any way I can. Although in this sort of affair, I don't think I will be of much assistance.
You're not such a fighter? Kind of like smiles.
I wave my power in a bit of a different way.
How? He kind of smiles and asks this question.
That is a very good question, isn't
It
it?
is.
Smiles back. I think you can make a few educated guesses.
Exactly. Fields of high society media. He kind of like smiles. And,
Possible.
and the pharmaceutical company.
Mhm.
Your meetings is quite good with him. He kind of like smiles. Your retainer.
It went well. He sees my
Yeah.
way now.
No,
That's
yeah.
always helpful.
The pharmaceutical companies, I love them. I think I told you before the story. He kind of smiles.
Hmm. Simply good business. Okay.
The
People
Lord
live
isn't.
longer. People
Oh,
live longer and need more medicine to keep alive.
exactly. The Lord is not trying to intimidate her. Like, this is not an intimidation and stuff like that. Then he says, like, I know what you do. Like, he just, like, tells, like, like, I know how you wield your power.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
How is the coterie going? The coterie that I didn't see doing anything, to be honest.
Well, in recent developments,
Camilla.
exactly. It would
She,
seem that, well, the regent is busy, of course, as he has quite a lot to see to with his plan being as busy as it is. It makes sense.
well, you never called me as well. He kind of smiles.
No, well, I hate to say I am busy as well, but it would seem that we as a collective have neglected some of our duties, given the recent, one of the recent announcements by the Queen. She did not seem happy at all of these breaches of the masquerade. Well, closed breaches,
He, you talk about Camilla?
but talking about the
She,
fact that the Queen stated quite publicly that she felt let down by the majority,
oh,
in a manner of
the
speaking, I suppose.
when she said about the I'm not happy with how we court questions me. Is that
Exactly.
I might think it's because of a certain gangrel.
While that is indeed a possibility, it is also fair to note that the amount of solid progress we've done on the infestation is somewhat limited. Not a
What
lot
did
of
you think about Camilla?
time for them bones. What does she think? Actually, I need to look at that.
I got to boom, boom, boom. Shoot,
Baboon. Well,
who's the defender here?
Yeah, that's the thing. Laura is trying to be as neutral as possible.
Hmm.
Laura just says she was a capable fighter. She was proud, resourceful in her own way, but well,
That is a really political answer.
I wouldn't want to disappoint you. She like smirks as she says that.
She was a failed investment to me.
I would not want to talk ill of my of a clan that is not my own. That would be most unbecoming. There is the old saying, one should never speak ill of the dead, but I don't think we should go too far with that, or else no one would be talking to anyone.
Well, should we continue being in the coterie,
Hmm, that's a good question. It
or
was the Queen's command, as far as I remember.
mm, nobody except us followed the command in the past? But what I'm saying is, coteries works together. It's something that units does, and we're not units. We're elders. The elders has agendas, and if those agendas matches, they work together. So what I'm basically asking you is, what do you want to be, and how we can work together, how we can invest in each other.
Primarily, I want to be in a city without Sabbat near. Anywhere near. As long as that is our goal, I think we can work very, very splendidly together. That should and probably is my primary goal at the moment. You
Okay.
know, if you're Camarilla, it's a problem, and especially the older you are, the more of a target you become.
It's
But how do we combat an enemy that seems to be quite well entrenched without giving up to completely needless paranoia?
the Sabbat is people is made on people who are mad to follow certain cause, and sometimes those people's cause can be deceived.
Hmm, they surely can, but well, we're working together and you are on this mission. I suppose I should support you in it, and I will support you in it. If you think that I could be of help, I will come along if that is something that could strengthen our. Hmm. It would be a lead if there is something to it. It could be a lead on what these part of planning.
Laura, what did you do about Sabbat in the city? I
About
just about Sabbat in the city after you arrived to the city.
what did I do about come again?
Sabbat.
Well, this is the first time that I've really encountered Sabat while being here. What I've done is merely, well, most of what I've done is make sure that there's been no tampering with what information I send to people, and made very, very sure that my personal place of residence, my haven, is secure as possible, of course. And made abundantly certain that my domain is free of filth. It is secure, controlled, and monitored, so that I'm not, without my knowledge, actually having, what shall we say, unwanted visitors.
Or not. You don't have any plans other than the beatings about them? Kind of smiles.
I'm not a tactician. I have some suggestions, but then again, my position is not one of war. I am in the city and I'm an elder. I suppose I should have. But honestly, well, I could help, but I do not think it is, even as an elder, my position to waltz into the people who are in higher positions, such as yourself, waltz into a meeting with them and simply begin to share my thoughts and say, this is what we should do, and I should do this, and you should do that. I do not believe that that would be very productive. So if someone requires my help, then I will indulge and share my thoughts.
He nods.
That would probably be the position where a coterie would be more an open forum. I will be able to, well, I mean, if that is what you're asking me. I do have some ideas.
Okay.
One thing I'm thinking of is, while it is not possible in a city as large as our city to restrict flood in any meaningful way, there will still be plenty of people. We should perhaps hone the way in which we look for areas of the city that, well, we should increase our surveillance more than one way in areas that might be more areas where the Sabbat would have an easier time feeding, to shadow their movements, so to say. They tend to be less careful about who they feed from and how they do so, and track this and use our resources to track this. We might be able to more accurately point out where they might be. It's not, of course. So some of those who are very good at, well, camouflaging themselves, which are the most problematic part of them. One that masquerades as us. That is our real problem.
I agree.
However, getting a beat on them, so to say, or finding out where most of their activity is centered, well, that would be a way to limit what methods, how many shovelheads they would be able to muster on a short notice if we were to limit their movements, which would help in the grand scheme of things. But about infiltrators that camouflage themselves as Camarilla, that is a long con and very, very difficult, as you undoubtedly know, to root out in any meaningful way on a short basis, on short notice. But, well,
Hmm.
if one were to examine the makeup of the court, one could, hopefully without sounding too paranoid, could perhaps find some people that were more, potentially more likely to be guilty than others, or suspicious than others.
Well, let's. Hey, kind of like thinks and says, let's handle the Sabbath first, as you said, then we can think about the future.
Indeed.
I'm very busy to be about the permission and the keeper. I need to change the Elysium.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was nice to talk to you.
Likewise. Indeed. I do hope that, well, maybe we'll see each other. One thing I didn't know, since this is not my purview or field, do you know how Diane found out that more, if she is ready to make a mission to find Essential? I am assuming that she's got a fairly precise idea of where this person is. Do we know how she found out?
I have no idea.
It seems very fortuitous to find such a seemingly close or precise beat on where this people holding him or some people connected to them are. Of course, if it is just a search of the sewers, well, if it is just that it was a Nosferatu, well, then it's not that precise, I suppose. But I still wonder about how she's.
That's a good question.
The reason I ask is if she got it very fortuitous or a little too easy, this would be an obvious trap and probably not something you should send people to. But then again, it's not a harpy's job to be privy to how the sheriff gains information. It would be handy, but
I agree. I will talk to her.
it would put my mind at ease to know that the best and brightest of the court were not heading into a very obvious trap.
You're right.
Such a job should be reserved for neonates. And she chuckles. She's joking. You don't need to roll a P&E. But she's only joking so much. There's a slight hint of her maybe being a little bit serious, which is, well, it's an elder of the Camarilla, so
Oh yeah.
respect. So that's,
He will nod and extend a hand.
she'll take it and shake it and just a pleasure as always.
It was a pleasure. Pleasure was all mine. See you later, Laura.
I look forward to it. And she will just she'll actually see you out. She'll get up and she'll follow you out. And once you get into the bar where there is humans or mortals, she changes her tone somewhat. And you just, oh, it was a pleasure to meet you. Let's do it. Let's do a lunch sometime. All right. She comes across as, when people can hear her, she comes across as like much younger and much more innocent, but like more like a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, and she'll get in and head into the bar once you're outside.
And I believe that will be the moment we end our scene.
You will. Thank you very much, players, for playing, and watchers for watching. Good night.